I just found out my assault was planned and who my real friends are. I 26 female recently found out that my grape was planned and now I'm being called unhinged and dramatic for how I reacted. I need to know if I crossed the line. Changing names for the story. Tyler, my abusive ex. Chris, Tyler's best friend. Sarah, Chris' current girlfriend. Jess, my college bestie. My first year of college, 19, my abuser. Tyler tried to unalive me. I reported it to the school and basically a long story to explain, the school covered it up and made me stay quiet about it. Fast forward a few months after that, Chris reaches out to me to apologize for his best friend's actions, him abusing me and trying to unalive me. We become pretty close friends for a few months. Fast forward a few months later, Chris grapes me. At the time I figured it was just another random act of violence. I eventually drop out of college and I move on with my life. Fast forward to this past Thursday. I am in town where I went to college to visit my niece and nephew, and my old college bestie Jess invites me to a dinner with some of our old college friends. After I know what I know now, I deeply regret not asking her who would be there. I show up to the dinner and at the freaking table is Chris. I'm already sick to my stomach at the fact that Jess wouldn't warn me that my grapist would be at the dinner. I'm not a very confrontational person, so I said nothing. In the grand scheme of things, I definitely should have turned around and left, but my no backbone having butt did not. Anyways, the dinner is going okay. People are drinking and laughing and having a good time, until Sarah opens her mouth. Sarah decides to ask me if I ever got over Chris. As I look at her dumbfounded, because what the hell do you mean did I get over Chris, my grapist? I ask her why she would ever ask me something like that, and proceed to tell her she's disgusting for even asking me that. I decide I want to leave. At the time I'm also mad at Jess, she didn't say a single thing. As I'm about to leave, I tell Jess in front of everyone that I think she should have said something to defend me, or at least let Sarah know what she asked wasn't okay. Sarah says something along the line of, Jess isn't your friend if she never told you the truth. That makes me stop dead in my tracks, so I ask Jess what she's talking about, and she literally says nothing. Sarah then starts scrolling through her phone saying she's got to show me something. Again, I should have just left. She turns her phone around, and I look at screenshots of texts. Before I could really read them, Sarah snatches her phone away and laughs and then says, you think your little grape was a coincidence? At this point, Sarah's like drunk, and now Chris is stepping in to tell her to shut the frick up. I turn to Jess and again ask her what Sarah's talking about. Mind you, other people are at this table too. She still says nothing, but she looks like she's gonna cry. Finally, I start raising my voice asking someone to explain. Sarah then says, Chris and Tyler planned your grape as a get-back for trying to ruin Tyler's life. He got kicked out eventually for trying to unalive me. Long story too. And Jess knew the entire time. I couldn't even think straight. I'm not gonna lie, I straight blacked out and I lost it. I remember flipping the table over. I remember screaming at Sarah and Chris and Jess. Eventually I was asked to leave by the restaurant staff, so I did. I called Jess later because I wanted answers, and she informed me that Tyler and Chris had been talking for months and Tyler was feeding Chris information on how to get closer to me, and told me that their original plan was to get me to voluntarily sleep with him so they could film it, and that was going to be how they got me back instead. Because I wasn't falling for Chris, they decided the punishment would be to grape me, and she knew the entire time. Now everyone is texting me, tell me I overreacted, that it was years ago, and everyone is mad at me because Sarah's pregnant with Chris' baby, and I had no right to cause a pregnant woman so much stress.